In this video, I want to talk about niching down. And we hear a lot about it online, and you got to find your niche. That's kind of the American way to say it, but we say niche, or at least I do. But what does it mean to niche down, and why is it important to niche? And what can that do for you and your business if you kind of decide today to hone your skills and hone your expertise and just focus on one particular area? You see, being a general practitioner is not always the best way to go. The reason for this is because you're trying to cover a lot of bases with your skill set, and your time is very much spread between a lot of different things. Whereas if you kind of niche down and focus on one particular thing, you're going to get very, very good, very, very fast. And so in my own business, basically, I'm outsourcing a few things here and there, but generally I'm doing everything across my whole business. And I've realized over the last year or so that this isn't the best way to go. This isn't going to help me to learn really quickly what I need to and to really get up to speed on certain areas. So I've got this thing that I want to share with you today. It's just an idea, but it's something that I've started to do. And it's basically this: to niche and then pivot. So what do I mean by that? Well, basically it means that in the beginning, you might be quite a general practitioner. So for example, I have a video production business and I'm working in my business and doing all the things that that requires. I'm also capturing the leads. I'm also responding to clients and doing the sales process. I'm also then doing the brief and the storyboarding and all the pre-production. Then I'm going to shoot the piece. Well, I have a few contractors, but generally I go and shoot most of the time as well. Then I'm editing, and I'm editing the piece down. Now, if you look at that over the course of a year, I'm doing multiple different tasks at any given time during that project. And I'm not solely focused on getting really, really good at one particular task. And like I said, it's great to have that general knowledge, but it's going to take me 3 to 5 years, let's say, to develop each of those skills, because I'm only doing them every now and again on a particular job. Say if I have a shoot that goes for 2 weeks, well, I'm doing all those little jobs over that 2 weeks, but I might only edit once in those 2 weeks. Whereas if I niche down in editing, and I say, hey, here I am, my name's Michael, I'm a video editor. And if I go after jobs to edit videos, I'll connect with directors of photography and agencies to become a video editor. And all I would need to do in order to get a year's worth of editing as a general practitioner, I would only need to do about 2 to 3 months of editing, because every single day I would be editing. Now, I might get bored of it. Yes, I might get sick of it, but I've niched down to the point of needing 3 to 6 months to become very skilled at that one particular thing. Now, let's take cinematography, for example. If I went out and just shot every single day, and I was working with a director and I became their main cinematographer and I did all their ads and campaigns, then I would be filming every single day. I would be charging the camera batteries the night before, working out what lenses I needed for the shoot, working with the grips, working with lighting, working with audio and sound. And I would get to know the ins and outs of cinematography very, very quick. But if you take my position as a general practitioner that I spoke about before, then I'm only shooting every project that comes along, which might mean I'm only shooting once or twice in a month, because then I'm editing it, and then I'm winning the job, and then I'm doing all the other things. So you can see that my timeline for honing my skill set and really getting good at one particular thing is very, very long and stretched out as a general practitioner. So based on this idea and this thought, and I've been sort of doing this job now for 6 or 7 years, having my own video production company, and still requiring to learn new things all along the way, of course. We never stop learning. But I just thought, if I had have started and said, I just want to grab a camera and just film, and I'm going to connect with agencies, I'm going to connect with a director of photography or a director, and I'm going to try and get on shoots and get jobs where I'm only going to be shooting. I don't want to edit yet. I don't want to do the sales process and the pre-production. I don't want to produce. I just want to shoot. Then I could have done that for 6 or 8 months. and got really, really good at shooting. Then moving into, now I want to edit, and I'm going to kind of connect with an agency or try and edit for a client and just edit full time and spend most of my time editing. Then I would have moved into maybe producing and being a cinematographer in the beginning, figuring out how to produce something and how the producer works with all the talent and all the different agencies and everything that their role entails, working with the budgets and the location scouting, all of those things. Then I could have basically done that for 8 or 9 months. And look at my timeline now, 7 years kind of being a general practitioner. And I have niched in certain areas and certainly learnt enough to really get by in many of those areas. But imagine me now looking at that niched and then pivot kind of process. I would have in 2 to 3 years been able to learn 3 to 4 different key elements of the video production space. And I would have been very close to professional or expert level in each of those categories. If you really think about having to edit every day for a year, imagine you have to edit or do text and titles and animations every day for 8 months, let's say. You are going to get really, really good, really, really quick. You're going to get efficient, you're going to get fast, you're going to know how to handle the client brief, and you're just going to learn at a much bigger scale. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, I think my advice to my younger self starting out in video production was I probably might not have started a video production company. I might have actually just put myself out there as a video freelancer or a video creator. And I would have maybe said, look, I really want to shoot in this next 12 months. So I would have just gone after clients who needed someone to shoot. And maybe I wanted to be a cinematographer for the next little while and gone on bigger jobs with a rented camera. Potentially, I could have then said, look, I would really like to edit. And over the course of 3 to 5 years, I would have built up each of those skills and become very, very well sought after. Not to mention all of the business contacts that I would have developed as well. I would have been known by directors. I would have been known by people who needed editing and clients that needed editing and being a good editor. I would have also been known as a producer if I did that for a while. And I honestly think now, looking back on things, that this is a much better approach. It would have taken out all of the sales process because I'm working with other people who already have the work or have already captured the sale. I would have also not needed to worry about the business management side of things as much as I have. So my time would have been better utilized to just focus on the craft of video. And I think what's interesting is I didn't take this approach and I don't have any regrets on the way that I approached my business. But I feel like if I had have approached it that way, I may be further along than I am right now. And if you're struggling with doing so many things all at the same time, and you're not really getting on top of any of those particular areas, might I suggest to you that you try and niche down a little bit in your business and find that thing that you really like to do day in and day out, and just kind of try and lock in clients who can give you that consistency in that particular area for a long period of time. One of the things that I found in my early working life is that I didn't really enjoy just doing one particular thing. And any jobs that I got where it was mundane and the same thing day in and day out, I actually really didn't thrive or do very well in those environments. And so I always continually moved to jobs where there was an invigorating environment and there was always lots and lots of things to do. And so I would just say that if that's you, if you kind of get stuck doing one thing, then maybe this isn't the right approach for you. But certainly I believe that this is a great way to learn everything you need to learn in a really short timeline. And then maybe after that point, you've done the work as a cinematographer. You know how to set up lights, let's say. You've done editing for a long period of time and you've been able to really get good at doing texts and titles and small animations. Then you decide that you want to extend a little bit further and start your own business where you then have your hand across all of those things. I think this is a much better setup and a much easier way to get up to speed with everything required. You can choose where you want to fit in the whole scheme of things, or you can start a company and you have the knowledge that stretches across all the disciplines. Anyway, that was just a thought I really wanted to share with you all, and just processing for me on, the last 5 or 6 years running my video production business. So hopefully you got something from this, and like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.